Well, Ollie got his hair cut. We're about to head back to Ohio. I want to talk about the 3-year-olds because they've had a great run. Obviously, I'd said to you guys, I'm a little concerned. I'm not concerned, but like Pull the Shoes and Lovers Play without having a ton of heavy miles into them and getting to assess and reassess them, and usually do that in the qualifier again. Like, that will be okay. Where are we at now? But when you qualify them on a track, and I don't often qualify them on a track when it's pouring rain, but when we have a series coming up for Pull the Shoes, I decided I would just go in qualifier. So, but hard to gauge, right? Hard to get a full view of how ready to rock she is. So I'm going to have to drive her in a pretty conservative manner. It's fine anyway. A long season. I just thought we should have her ready for this series. I think she's going to be a solid Stallion Series filly all year long. I love going with her. I love being around her. So probably going to drive her in a pretty conservative manner this week. I think she races on Thursday. Affection. Training down good. Now, a lot of these horses are in the same kind of flight plan, so to speak. Been around that 220, 225 at a 1.5 mile marker. We'll probably train them 4 times between 1.5 miles and 212 and 220, maybe 5 times, and then put them in the race bike and go 1 mile and 2.8, 210, and then we'll have that first hurdle, that reassess. We're going to assess them and reassess them type situation. And when it comes to Affection, she's training down well. Blanton's Blue's been in 2.9 in the race bike. Had a little, got on the left line. He wasn't steering the greatest. He was by himself. As far as mechanically speaking, was it a great training mount? No. But I didn't want to go with him. I had to go to the Meadows, and Jason went with him. Merriman, you got to know this guy when you drive him, because he can be a pain in your butt when you're in the race bike. He challenges you all the time, and you just got to stay ahead of him. And without knowing him, it's hard to do that. So I didn't care. You get the work, you know him. It's all that matters. I'll train him next week in the race bike. Born to Dance, been around that 220, 222 area at 1.5 miles, probably a month from racing. Many of these horses will be ready to go. Yeah, I see it.
How's No Chance in How doing?
He's doing, you know what, Ollie? He's not a very good horse, I don't think, Ollie. He's just an overnight horse. He trotted in 2 minutes a couple of times. I expected him to come forward, and then he kind of didn't. Now, he lost a shoe the other night, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We took the flip-flops.
Well, actually, you haven't had him train in like a year and a half or two, so...
No, he had the summer off, but he was
You
training.
can't really blame him.
Sure I can. Absolutely I
You
can.
You didn't train him for a half a year.
No, he didn't have time off. He had a little time off, but he was healing up and in mild training. He should be ready to go for the maiden. We took the flip-flops off him and Oh Snap You this week, and they'd want to respond well, or they'll be responding in somebody else's barn. Just tell, here, will you bring this drink into Mom? I'm just going to finish up this 3-year-old video. What's that?
I bet it's cold.
Yeah, it's not cold because I got it extra hot, but she,
Oh, so that's why they were so hot.
yeah, they asked for here, extra hot.
Smell it.
Hey, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Ask Mommy, don't yell at me. 30 seconds in the microwave and bring it back out. Take the lid off it, please. Wow, and no objections from him. Good. So Born to Dance, getting closer. Also, all those horses. Affection is scheduled for the Bobby Weiss. We have a number of horses, so we want to have them ready for the last week of March. So I suspect it's March 3rd, 4th. Let's say by the 20th we'll have them in the race bike a little bit. By the end of April they'll be qualified, or by the end of March they'll be qualified and ready for that Bobby Weiss for the horses. And we may have them ready just a week or 4 or 5 days earlier in case you want to get a start into them. But that's a plan. And the Bobby Weiss is like 3 or 4 legs also. So long season. That's the plan with them. I jumped over Arson. You believe that? Wow. Arson's been training great. Now Eric and Kathy get them trained earlier. So the only one I saw, I went with Pickpocket the other day. I went with Lonely Lakewood, and I watched him come off the track with Memory and Imagination. But I did not see him go with Arson. Eric loves Arson, right? Really, really loves Arson. And I think, he always has great things to say about him, the way he's training great. He said he always trains great. Always trains great. So expecting a big year, Eric is. Although I didn't have the heart to tell him. I didn't pay him into the Meadowlands Pace of the North American Cup. I just didn't think it made sense. Very, very good horse. But let's stay in our lane when it comes to Arson. Very nice horse. He did great in Kentucky last year. Probably going to rinse and repeat this year. Blanton's Blue, as I said, I'll train him next week. Born to Dance, did not know is training now for the Schaefer family. did not know is training now with Dominic. He said she is sound. Dominion is training. I was happy with what I saw from Dominion the other day. This is hi.
This is very good, but it's a hot chocolate. And
Well, you ordered it.
headache will not.
So what you're asking me to do?
I'll order it on my phone.
Yes.
Can you go get it in 5 minutes?
Yes, but I think it is worth noting that you ordered it on my phone.
Well, you presented me the app.
No. That objection
modified.
is overruled. You can order your drink, and I will go get it and give that one to Addie. Split it up. Addie likes hot chocolate. Not my fault. No. Zero fault out of that. Dominion training good. This is Collector's brother. Happy with the way he looks. There's another horse. Probably could head down to Oak Grove if we get him ready in time. I think we should have a lot of fun in Oak Grove. I wish Oak Grove you just drive there easy. I can drive there from Northfield. It's about 7.5 hours. So Amy's going to be, Ollie playing baseball in Ontario this year is problematic. But everything for the kids, right? And I'm sure there'll be weekends when Amy and I and the kids, and actually Ava and Ollie. But I will say this, Oak Grove, I don't think kids are allowed in the backstretch. Because I know there was a gentleman last year had to almost smuggle his kid in from what it looked like in the back door. I'm positive kids are not allowed in the paddock or the barn area, or definitely the paddock. The barn area there, but definitely not the paddock. So Ava's going to be 13 on Monday. 13. I have a teenager. You believe that? I'm a teenager. Mentally. Maybe Ava can come with me. We'll see. Anyway, where are we at here? Dominion. So Dominion getting close. We're going to pop over to the barn really quick before we go, and I'll talk to Ari briefly about how Dominion's coming also. Don't talk about Bruno. I saw him go on the track. Mario said he trained twice this week. A lot of people asking where Mario is. He's helping Dominic, right? He doesn't have much of a stable in the winter anyway, and Dominic needs a lot of help. So Mario said he trained good. He looks good. He didn't get much taller, but he did get stout, which is important. Very, very happy with how he looks. Drebin is massive. He did get taller. He is gigantic. I think Dominic said he's almost ready to start going to the racetrack to train. So that means he's down around that 210, 212 area. So he's getting closer. Electric Line has found a spot. Thank God. Found a spot in Southern Ohio. So great job by Stacy. And Austin Hanners has been driving this horse very, very well. I know the Hanners family, second or third generation horse people. And I just saw a message come in. Never mind. It was funny to me. It may not be funny to you. Electric Line, so happy that one, the Hanners kid's doing a great job with him. Stacy's doing a great job with him. Not the easiest horse to drive, but looks like he likes Southern Ohio. So that's great for Greg and great for all our partners in regards to Electric Line. Flash Fly is training down great. Amy goes with her. She's got, for any of you that have ever been to the barn, she's got very tender skin. She's very easy. She gets irritated in her armpits and on her belly and up over her back. Very odd. I don't think I've ever seen a horse with skin like that. And you got to be very careful with her. And she's sharp right now. Amy, I meant to ask her how she trained with the open bridle on. But she's been training great. I love this filly. I love all those green shoes. They're weird. I think we have set the bar so high for green shoe that it's almost impossible for any of them to get there. Unless they turn into Walners, you just couldn't get there. They're decent. Insider Trading, nice filly. Pull the Shoes, nice filly. Flash Fly, nice filly. These are decent fillies. And I had no issues with the green shoes. Green Glitter is our only green shoe 2-year-old. One of our best horses. So I at the start of the year, when I was buying into this anger towards green shoe also, I was like, oh my God, Globetrotting's going to have a green shoe. Eyes of 10's going to have a green shoe. Pretty happy with what I've seen so far, both with our sophomores training down. Because Insider Trading, I think, is going to be a series filly. And our one rookie. So, George of the Jungle's training good, staying sound. This is an issue. It was funny because Rob Coleman came to Florida from Florida. We went out to dinner when we were in Florida with Rob. A great guy. Him and his brother Todd have the horses with us, and just really knowledgeable people, been in the game a long time, and nice to be around. And I saw him looking down because George of the Jungle toes in, pigeon-toed. But that's like a muscle mass trait, right? It's not shocking that you'd see a horse like that. But I see him looking down at him. I said, one, he doesn't generally always stand like this. He stands like this. Two, he's so big and so tall. We've just been very careful with him, and Dominic has done a great job. We've had a lot of horses staying in or at Ontario that had lameness issues, and Dominic's got the pool is right beside our barn, and having them train and swim at the same time has been super beneficial, and Dominic's really put together a great program for those, and George of the Jungle has stayed sound and is getting closer by the day to racing. Great Bet looks awesome. He's enormous. This is Greatest Endings brother, and he looks very, very good. Really happy with what I've seen from Great Bet. Green Tea, Eric said the horse has been training good for Dr. Rucker out there. Truthfully, I haven't gone with him yet because Eric always goes early in the morning because he's a bit of a lunatic, the horse, from time to time. But he can't hide forever. At some point, I'm going to go with him. But I think Eric's right. When you go faster with him, he's behaved. When you go slower with him, that's another green shoe horse that we had. Trained down great, and then Dr. Rucker wanted to give him the summer off. Sent him to Kentucky and brought him back here in January. He's getting closer also. He'll be ready by April 1st, I think, also. Gypsy Hill, same thing, April 1st. I think the Hackett, maybe the end of April, or the end of March, maybe. I'm not sure. The Hackett is likely what we're softly shooting for with this guy, and with Irresistible Sun. Both are training down very, very good. All the 3-year-olds have been in 220 minimum. Some have been a little bit quicker, and they all look good. Hallie in the Clouds, for a horse that was third, a beaten third in like 6th or 7th or first start, she has blown me away with how good she is right now. Shouldn't be shocking, right? This is a well-bred filly we paid a lot of money for as a baby, and there's no reason why she can't be a nice horse. She's raced well enough that I'm probably going to revisit her staking for, I'm going to make a note of that right now, actually. Revisit her staking for March 15th. Just super impressed with what I've seen from Hallie in the Clouds thus far. It's good that I do this because I get to talk through it also. The Hallie in the Clouds thing. Sometimes there's something I can write on. Sometimes you get the staking done, and then things change, and even that 15-day window sometimes. And going through this list the way I am, it allows me to look through some of these and say, well, we need to change for the better or for the worse, and Hallie in the Clouds for the better. I'm Fancy likes training down great. She might be a little sharp, a little faster than 220. She's been looking very good. I've seen her go twice now. She looked amazing. Insider Trading, quiet. And I know it bothered Jason. So she wears an ear hood and open bridle with no head check and a snake cord and just bell boots and trotting boots. Well, she wouldn't really pick up the bit the other day. Jason's trying to, and he hates her. He just like to have them sharp all the time and in the bit. But I don't want her like that. I want her quiet. Because I know what she's like. Last year when she went in 56, or she raced those good miles, she was ear hood, earplugs, snake cord, and like a death grip going under the wire because she just wired for sound. And she'll come back around. I don't want to turn that animal on just yet. So I've been very impressed with Insider Trading. I think we're going to a great 2024 with her. In International Spy, doesn't look like a monster, but he looked good the other day. Much better than his first start. I was happy with him, and Tim was happy with him. I talked to Chris. We joked. As he said, I noticed that you did 2 long shots in and you didn't come over to drive them. I said, Chris, I was really busy that day. I said it to Garnet Barnsdale in an interview. He said, you were the leading driver percentage-wise at Northfield. I said, Garnet, I get to cherry pick all the horses I drive. So it's cheating a little bit. Aaron and Ronnie and Chris and Hunter and all those guys over there, Ryan, they got to drive everything. I just get to pick the ones I want to drive. So for the most part. So it's not an accurate number, so to speak, but one I'm happy with. And when it comes to International Spy, I said to Chris, just let me know when he's getting a little bit better. And I'll go over. If I'm there, I'm happy to drive him. But for now, Chris does a great job with him also. And I'm very happy with what I saw from International Spy the other day. He may end up in that series. I think we did pay him into that. Now there's 2 series. I said if the maiden feels great, if it doesn't, you can put him in there, whatever. I don't care. Irresistible Sun's training down great. I don't know if he's going to wear the hobbles this year. This horse looks amazing on the track. It came around exactly how I said. As I said to Jason, stop picturing Irresistible Sun and just look at him as a 3-year-old trotter. Where's his deficiencies? Where's his strengths? And where do we need to build? Just put a little weight on him up front, took the hobbles off, and let his head down. Perfect. He was awesome. J-Port Beach Boy is training down good also. Happy with him. Lonely Lakewood, again, another horse like Hallie. I'm floored with how good he looks. No knee boots at all. And I trained him the other day in 18. Last half, it's a mile and a half. So I go 125, 110, or 112, like a half and 106 with him. Never turned a hair on his knee, never touched his knee, never come near his knee. He's going to get better. I think this is a nice horse. He's supposed to be, bred to be a nice horse. Lover's Play, I know her mile wasn't impressive. 2-4, 31 and 2 in the pouring rain and mud. She was good, and she wants to be a horse. I can't wait to drive her, but I got to be careful because I don't know if she's like the other filly. Just don't stretch her out. Don't stretch her thin, and you're probably going to see me get away 5th or 6th. Follow. Let her trot in the end of the mile. That's what I'd like to see from her. Mick Paisley is beginning to train now, I believe, soon. She was back in, hit a little more time. She had an injury before the end of the year. She's fine now. Mel Gibbswan, another horse that might shock you this year. This horse looks very, very good and is gigantic now. Very happy with how Mel Gibbswan has looked. Memory and Imagination has filled out nicely. Both him, Mel Gibbswan and Memory and Imagination, are slated for the Bunker Hill at Plainridge, their first start of the year. So we'll see how that plays out. Militant, he's ready to start going to the track also. Dominic said he looks good. Now, I didn't see him train yesterday, but I know I saw him train, or go out to train and come back, and he looked very good 2 weeks ago. His demeanor's good. They say he's trotting good, so who knows? I mean, this is a very well-bred horse. 6-pack. Again, how the 6-pack sophomore is going to come back? I don't know. Mounds for All did not train well on Friday. Amy went with him. We made a couple of breaks, which he didn't do. He was a beast when I went with him on Monday or Tuesday. Did he tie up a little bit throughout the week? I know that Jason was going to pull his muscle count. If it was low, they were going to retrain him on Saturday. If it was high, we were going to wait. Now, it ended up raining, and I did not get any feedback from Jason, so I suspect they went with the latter. We'll see. No Chance in Hill, as I said to Ollie here as we were getting parked. Not happy with, I saw 2 minutes, his first 2, man, that was a good mile. A little regression the other day, but I just wonder, is he going to hold up? Is he going to come forward? Is he going to be a useful horse? I can't really blame him for not winning the maiden because the maiden is weirdly tough right now in Northfield. So we'll see. I don't know. I thought he'd be in Southern Ohio racing in the Numbers of 2 series. It didn't fill. None of them filled. I was so shocked. I saw the text message and I said, how is it possible that none of the Nominers of 2 series is fills in a place where they race for the most money right now, aside from Yonkers? I don't get it. But it didn't. None of them filled. So I don't know. We'll see what the future holds for No Chance in Hill and the horse I just was about to say, Snap You. Both those horses need to show me more in the coming weeks. More. And, if they don't, we just have too many horses that are going to fill those spots, and they are not going to be needed. So, and again, this is exactly where the rubber meets the road. I will not hesitate to continue to polish our crew, our staff, our team up as we move forward, the equine side of it anyway. And those 2 horses, No Chance in Hill and Snap You. Okay, they're doing okay, but they need to show me more, and I hope they do this week. Paycheck Princess is getting close also. She's been in 2-8, Dominic said. Likely going to go mile 2-4, 2-3 this week. We'll see. Pickpocket. I trained Pickpocket the other day. He trained great. Very, very happy with Pickpocket. Again, Eric's just so zeroed in on those horses, and it's hard. I can step back because we have a ton of horses, and I can grade them all, judge them all, look at them all. Need to do that one, that one, that one, that one. Eric's laser focused on Arson, and as he should be. Him and Kathy are just so meticulous when it comes to horses, and I like that. But as I said to Kathy the other day, Cedar Oil, I know it's Pickpocket, I know you're thinking Hambo, and that's great. But before we say Hambo, we got to get him going and blister him everywhere. Put a little light blister on him. We'll go again on Tuesday and see how he does on Tuesday. But he was good the other day. Prince Charmer, I didn't see him go, but Jason said he did. Said he looked very, very good. Another horse that's getting close. Quietly, he's a tweener, right? I think he could be a better horse. He hasn't shown us yet, on the racetrack in 2023, but I think he could be a better horse. He looks good on the track. Pull the Shoes, as I said. I love this filly. I'm going to be very careful with her this week. But again, she's such a competitor and such a nice filly. Punch the Clock was now first time they bred her. She didn't catch, which I don't think is shocking for a maiden filly in February. I don't think it's shocking. I don't know a lot about it, but I know she was rebred Saturday, I believe, Friday, Saturday. We're watching that. We did all that's paid for, and it's all come to fruition. Punch O'Clock is being bred to Walner. We'll see how that plays out in the coming months. Purple People Eater didn't train as good the other day, but had been training good. She's the type of filly where I told him, I said, just bite your lip and just buckle up, because until we start getting faster quarters, faster halves, faster miles, she always looks a little rickety, right? Looks like a little typewriter sometimes. Just leave her alone. She'll start doing her work better when we get going faster. Ready for landing. We'll get back at it soon. Now we get him castrated, so he didn't get to the field yet, per se. When that heals up, I told him maybe give him a week in the paddock, out in the field, and then bring him back in and start him back up. And then we'll see. He's a tweener the other way. We staked him heavier, and he hasn't shown it yet. A win in 58 is not a win in 53, so he's got a long way to go before he gets to where we staked him. But hopefully he will. Really don't care. It's getting closer. Also, I'll talk to Harry a little bit more as we get over there with her also. I'm sure Amy's already ordered this drink. Seasons of Love race terrible the other day. You know, Dominic said she's going to win a maiden, but she's a lot like Easy in the Turns. Well, you guys know what happened with Easy in the Turns. She's not here anymore. She went to work for somebody else. So we have a number of these horses that may or may not be what we're looking for, and they're not all going to be that way. That's just the way it is. We can only put the same work into the first horse in the barn as the last horse in the barn. Put all the work in, give them all the tools they need from us to do their job well, and then they have to come forward. That has to come to fruition on their end. There has to be some, reciprocation. They have to, they have to do it. It's up to them. And it's not that Seasons of Love can't do it. Maybe God just didn't give her the talent to be a 55 trotter. But I agree with Dominic. She can probably win a maiden, so we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of weeks. But there will be a time when there's a line drawn. Anybody below that line, out. And that's the way it has to be. And I'm not overly apologetic for the pivot we've made. I said that before. I think for us to have the barn we have right now, that pivot was necessary, and we need to hold the line. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Sedona Hill, training down great. Very happy with her. Sunset Acres Girl comes in this week. I don't know if she's actually in the barn yet, but she will be soon. I know that Stay Close is coming back from the field on Tuesday, so if Sunset Acres Girl isn't back yet, I'll just tell them to throw her on the truck, drop her at the Meadows, and we'll ship her back to Northfield Park ourselves. Sweeney, he looked extremely good. Of all the horses I remember from last year, if you put all those horses and showed me all their videos at any point from last year and then showed me them all training this week, Lonely Lakewood looked amazing. But I think the biggest improvement of all the horses I've seen has been Sweeney. I don't think he's going to wear hobbles this year. All he's been training with is an open bridle and a set of boots behind. That's it. And he looked extremely good the other day training. Very impressed with this horse. Time is on my side. We've gone from hoping he was the best 2-year-old in the world when he wasn't, to hoping that he came back good. He won the race at 2. He won a race at 2, which is a mild little check mark. Come back okay, trained back okay, and then came to life. And he has looked amazing and has rekindled a lot of that fire. Is he a good horse? Is he a horse that's going to make a real difference in the stable? Could be. Because, man, he is some kind of impressive. That mile that I went with him, 54 and 2, 27, 54 and whatever, 27 and 2 on the end of it with the earplugs in, he sure felt like a good horse. Now, I'm not James McDonald. I'm not Scott Zeron. I'm not Mark McDonald. I can't tell you what a real good horse feels like, because if I ever sat behind one, it was a rarity. And that's not to diminish the horses we raced. Lawmaker was a good horse. Pickpocket was a good horse. I'm talking a top animal. They have to check all the boxes. They have to do everything right, and they have to want it way more than everybody else around them. Time is on my side. Feels like a good horse. Now, he didn't beat. Again, I've said this before. I don't mean to diminish the other horses he raced against thus far, but it is a watered down numbers of 1, numbers of 2 crew that he raced against, and in light year away from the horses he's going to have to race against to be a quality horse. But he's on his way. Nice horse. He comes back in this week. Actually, he came back in yesterday. Vaquero Blue Chip and Victory Blue Chip, Harry told me they both have been in 2-7. They're going to go back again, train this week. He loves victory. We'll see how that plays out. They're both back in, and they're both going to be ready for... I got to check their staking, see what they paid into. Victory's paid into Kentucky also, so that'll be neat. Watch Your Mouth. A bit of a bittersweet. So John Evans owns Watch Your Mouth. John and I are very close friends. You guys know that John is likely going to be the partner in the stable. He's going to play a major role moving forward in the stable. I told a number of people that. It's been a quietly talked about. Many of you have met John and his family. Super great guy. Him and his father Brian, who's since passed away, played a big role in the stable as we started to move forward since we began. And John has became a bigger player and a bigger player and a bigger player, and you're going to see him become a much bigger player moving forward. So John's been busy doing a number of things and sent me a picture of the staking for Watch Your Mouth, just OSS. He said, I'll take care of this. Okay, no problem. I took it off my list. You know how the story's going to end, right? Watch Your Mouth didn't get staked this year. He didn't get staked to the Ontario Sire Stakes, which isn't the end of the world. But he was small and running down and making, he was an okay horse. So whatever. It's not the end of the world. I saw him at the barn yesterday. He's gigantic. No horse has grown. I told you about Lonely Lakewood. No one has grown more than Watch Your Mouth. And that's not to say that he's going to... Well, he's going to be good now because he's not staked. So we got to go out and stake him to whatever we can outside of the OSS. And it's not... If you're not a top OSS horse, like if you're not a top grassroots horse, or you're not a top sire stake horse, then who cares? You're just paying to race in the non-winners of 2 is virtually what you're doing. And the Prospect Series sounds awesome. It's not. I would like to see the OSS get to that point. And that's not making fun of the OSS. That's the same everywhere. If you're not a top stallion horse or Buckeye horse or Sire Stake horse in either jurisdiction or anywhere, it doesn't matter. You're just an overnight horse. There's nothing wrong with that. So as I said to John, he felt bad about it. I felt bad about it. There's nothing he can do. Payment was due February 15th. He had a lot going on. Didn't get done. So Watch Your Mouth is going to race in the non-winners of 2 series and the things that pop up. But if we race him in other places, great. I can tell you this. When he told me he missed the payment, I wasn't really that worried. Watch Your Mouth was a prospect horse, and who cares? It's not the end of the world. And then I saw him in the barn yesterday. I said, oh my God, that's Watch Your Mouth? The horse looks enormous. That's not to say that he's been training down great, but he will now. It might be the best horse in the world now. He's not staked in Ontario. Anyway, I thought I would drop a little soft introduction to what we're trying to do and what this guy back into me. The person that is going to step up and help run the stable, and it's you guys can tell. I've had so many people message me and say, Anthony, is everything okay? Because I've just been off a couple of videos this winter, and I have. The stress has really gotten to me, and it is really laid on me all winter long. I can take it, but it does get projected, right? And to have John be a part of the stable is a feather in my cap, and I can assure you, everyone watching this, a feather in your cap also. So super happy with the way the 3-year-olds are going. I guess I have 2 more. Would have been a good way to end the video, but we'll go back to it. How's that? Widespread Panic, as I said, now that we have Bay Coxing, has been training great. Dominic is super happy with him again. And Winter Bell's gigantic, training down, looking good. So those are all your 3-year-olds. Now, as I said, the Watch Your Mouth story is a cautionary tale. It's happened to me before. Happened to me last year myself. We had so many 3-year-olds. I had bought a 3-year-old. It didn't matter. She wasn't good enough. But I forgot to stake her. So it can happen. And that's why it's important for us, especially the size of the stable we have, to use a staking service like Jim at Joanne Staking and Chris. Those guys are super professional and get their job done well. And very lucky. Again, surround yourself with good people and good things will happen. So that's the plan for with John and with everybody else. Just really happy with the way things are turning out thus far. The sophomores look so good training down. And the rookies, to come over here yesterday and train these horses in Ontario, they look so good and feel good. I told you guys, Resolve Indeed, those Hall Trotters, Princess Dream, just to name some. There's so many horses, like the Century Legion horse. The Pacers are looking good. Everybody. We have 10 babies in Ontario, all 10. And Trevino on Green has been training good, so I am going to say all 10 are training well right now. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Those are the 3-year-olds. You get a little bonus coverage of what's going on business-wise with the stable and who's going to be helping out. That's important. But for right now, I'm going to let you go. I still got the opening to do. I'm going to do that with the family as we drive on our way to Ohio. Take care.